So let me ask you if you knew that 85% of people suffer from low self-esteem and low confidence. Did you know that 70% of teens actually deal with low self-esteem, low confidence? 30% of people actually get the help that they need. Now think about this for a second. If 70% of teens deal with low self-esteem and low confidence, ain't that making the number high for adults? Because if you don't treat it, then you're going to turn into an adult dealing with the same thing that you didn't deal with as a kid. And so it made me say, what are we doing to actually help our kids so they don't become adults that is having the same deficit that we possibly may even have that we're not even telling anybody? And so there are a number of things that we can have low self-esteem or low confidence in. And what's one of the easiest ways to see if we actually got low self-esteem or low confidence, right? One of the easiest ways to find that out is ask yourself, how do you take criticism? Like, seriously. Now, obviously, there are going to be some things that people going to just say that they just off. But people that suffer from low self-esteem, low confidence, they get very offended and have low self-esteem easily. And so because of that, it automatically shifts. It automatically shows that you have low self-esteem or low confidence in an area, in a teaching, in an ability, in something that you have done. So I'll give you a prime example. If someone said to me, oh, how you raising your child is wrong, is this, is that, and the third. The moment that that criticism was said to me and I get offended by it, well, how dare you, and this, that, and the third, and I X, Y, and Z, guess what? If I don't feel confident in my teaching, then it would only make sense that I would get offended. Because guess what? You can't offend me by something that I don't believe you in. The same way you can't tempt somebody with something that they don't want. I don't want it. Like, prime example, I'm vegan, been vegan for years. You can't tempt me with a piece of fried chicken. I don't want it. I don't care how good it smells, how good it looks. I don't want it. So it doesn't matter what you're trying to offer me. I don't want it. So the same thing, if somebody criticizes something that you're doing, you're not going to be offended by it because you're like, okay, you're entitled to your opinion, but I am confident in what I'm doing and my ability and how I've actually in my teaching is not going to matter. The results are going to be what the results are going to be, and it's going to show. My results speak for themselves. I don't have to actually prove anything. And so if that is the case, guess what? We are going to find ourselves in a position where now, say you raising your kids and they become adults. Well, because you wasn't confident in your teaching ability with them, now when they become adults, you're going to be trying to control their life. You're going to feel as though I have to do this for them. I have to do that for them because they are just not capable. Well, why aren't they capable? They're not capable because you're not confident in what you taught them, or you know that you didn't teach them anything. So you're showing your lack of confidence in what you did or did not do. And so now you have to control everything that they do. You feel as though that, well, if I don't do this for them, it ain't going to work out. They're going to be like this. No, they're probably going to be like that because you didn't equip them with the necessarily tools that they actually needed. Now, obviously, you have limited control over how a person actually turns out because you can give them the information and they can just choose not to do anything with it. What's another way we can actually show lack of confidence? We can show lack of confidence when we shy away from group things, whether it's virtual, right? Whether it's like we find ourselves in a room full of people, but we off to ourselves. Why is that? Inferiority. Because it's some other person that's there that's capable of doing something, or at least they seem like it, or you think they are. And so because that is the situation, you actually go into a shell. You clam up. And so you may try to put that off to, I'm a introvert. That's why. And a lot of people tend to do that sometimes. They just rule it to, I'm an introvert. And so I like to say to myself, which is cool. A lot of people are introverts. But did you know that a lot of introverts got extrovert qualities? And a lot of extroverts got introvert qualities? And so if that's the case, then let's be honest with ourselves. There is something about me that I have low self-esteem with or lack of confidence in. And so because you have that feeling towards yourself, you have to actually be mindful about what you're doing. But you have to be honest with yourself. You can't deal with anything if you don't be honest with who you are. You don't be honest about the situation. And so we'll have an example of a person that may have an extra amount of weight on them. Maybe they didn't always have that. Me for myself, right? I remember times when I was 250 pounds, 260. I'm only 5'9". And so when that happened, I found myself like, man, I'm a little down because this is the heaviest I've ever been in my life. But I started being honest with myself, like, am I comfortable in my skin? And does my weight actually determine who I am? No, it doesn't. And so I actually had a decision to make. I'm either going to choose to stay that way or I'm going to do something. Now, if I chose to stay the weight that I was, I actually needed to start doing work to be comfortable with how I looked and how I carried myself. So either way, I had to be comfortable, because even if you are slim, you lean, you got a six-pack, you got muscles, listen, you can still have low self-esteem and low confidence, because you can have it in another area of your life. And so when we are being more mindful and we being honest with ourselves, like, that's going to actually put us in a place where we are now able to actually do something about it. Now, what do you do if you don't know what to do about it? You're like, man, I got this low self-esteem, I got this low confidence, and I don't want to be that way. I don't want to, stay like this. But I don't want to go to therapy either, because a lot of people shy away from therapy. You get you a coach. You get you a confidence coach to be specific. And you start being intentional about your goals. You make your lack of confidence a goal. Like, the goal is, I need to overcome this. I don't know where to go. I don't know what to do. I need to go and get some help. Okay, get you a coach. That's one of the easiest ways. One of the least expensive ways, depending on what type of coach you get. And so the reason I specialize in confidence coaching is because that is something that people need. Look at the numbers. You can Google this. Google the number of people that suffer from a lack of confidence and low self-esteem. It's gonna blow your mind. And then look at the number of teens that suffer from low self-esteem, low confidence. And it is even going to show you that 70% is dealing with this at a teenage age. And we know the things that we don't work on as kids, we become that as an adult. So if you was lazy-minded as a kid, it's very likely that you're going to be lazy-minded as an adult. And so, like, just look at the projection. Like, honestly, if you look at the projection and the probability, like, ask yourself, okay, does the probability of it going this way or does it go this way? Like, just look at the statistics of your own self. Like, look at where you are and how you're feeling. And is it likely that it's going to rise, or is it likely that it's going to decrease, or is it going to stay the same? And so if your answer is stay the same or decrease, do something about it. Don't just live with it. You don't have to live with it. A lot of people tend to believe that, oh, well, this is just how I am and this is just how it's going to be. It doesn't have to be. And so remember where your focus goes, right? Your energy flows. So if you're focused on improving, then you're going to put energy in improvement. If your focus is on staying the same, then you're going to put energy into staying the same. If your focus is on low self-esteem, then you're going to stay with low self-esteem. And so part of your greatness is you actually doing something about what you don't like about yourself and changing it. Remember, you have greatness within you, and my challenge is for you to always go and be great.